Unfortunately, due to my files being corrupted, I was unable to upload my videos of my last hunts. So I found 6 silver dimes in my last hunt. I found a pretty lustrous mackerel dime, which is really nice to find. I found 368s, 60, and a 61. So I was pretty happy about finding that, but I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about my ICCS quarters that I've had for a while. So you're going to be seeing quite a bit of quarters, so stay tuned. So I'm going to be showing off my newest 2 oldest quarters that I have in these holders. So I have a 1956 that's graded Ms64. I think I paid like less than $20 for this. Got it for a pretty good price. Next one is going to be 2 55s. One of them being an Ms64. And the other one being a proof-like heavy cameo. This one's really nice. You can really see that heavy cameo shine through. Even on the other side, it's really strong. The next one's going to be a proof-like 66 1954 quarter. And if you know anything about the 54 quarters, proof-like, they are extremely difficult to find. Even the proof sets are very difficult to find. I think the proof sets only had like a mintage of 3,000, so it's quite difficult to find them. And if you find the whole set, it's probably going to set you back a few grand. So here is a small date. I don't have the large date yet, but this one's an MS62, small date 53. And if you know anything about the small date's more difficult to find than the large date. So even finding it in a very low grade was a pretty good deal. Here is an MS63 1952 low relief. This one's got some pretty nice toning going on. I love it. Now this one is a high relief, and this one's graded MS64. I actually won this in an auction for about $70. I paid half the price of what it's actually worth. And if you know anything about the 52 high reliefs, they're a lot more difficult to find than the low reliefs. So now we are getting into 51. I don't have the low relief of the 51. I will eventually get that down the road because I really want it. But here's a nice toned MS63 51 high relief. And I just love it because it has like that rosy tone to it. It's like really like orange and red. So I really like that toning going on. Here's an MS63 1950 quarter. Sometimes people will always mistake in their quarters and say, oh, it's cleaned and stuff like that. But ICCS, from my knowledge, is pretty harsh on their grades, and they know very well about their dies rather than the Americans. Even though you don't see a cartwheel, it just means the die just got really polished over time. Here's a 49 63. Actually, funny little story about this coin. I had 2 letters from the same seller that was selling me this coin, and I was like, why did he send me 2 MS63 1949 quarters? Until he realized he sent me the wrong one. And me being a good coin collector towards the community, I sent it back right away. And he got it back, so that's good for him. Now these ones are going to be a little bit more interesting. This one right here is probably one of my favorite quarters. It is a key date, and that is the 1948 quarter. And this one's graded MS63. I got this in a lot, and I'll explain here shortly. Here is one that is MS62 Maple Leaf. And now I have the other one, which is the plain. People say this is the true 47 because the one with the maple leaf was technically minted in 48 because they were reconfiguring their dies, and any nickel, quarter, dimes, 50-cent pieces, or dollars, or even pennies are kind of a little difficult to find. So I got the 47 plain and the 48 in eBay lot, and I actually got that for a pretty good steal too. I think I paid like $100 less than what they are initially worth. Here's a MS63 46, and here's another little story. I was downstairs when COVID first started, and this pissed me off. The postal lady, because the package was so big, she didn't want to call me downstairs. She was over stressed, and this kind of agitated me because she literally bent this in half. And I thought the inside was damaged until I looked at it real thoroughly. I was like, oh, thank God she didn't damage it. And I called Canada Post and said, listen, if she does this again, I think you should just let her go. And not only did she do it again, she did it multiple times. And I don't see her anymore. So I'm pretty sure she might have lost her job because she basically sent my packages to other buildings out of spite. Can't be doing that. Here's a 45 MS63. Even though you don't see that much cartwheeling, it's mostly because of the clouding on the coin. That sometimes happens. Let your coin sit around. Sometimes it oxidizes, and it will lose that cartwheel, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a circulated coin. So now we are going to get even further into the 40s. So here's MS62 44. Pretty sure this was the one with no, it's not. I think it's the CCS one, I think. I don't know. So basically, now here's a nice one. Here's a 43 62. Pretty low grade, pretty common quarter. This is probably one of the most cheapest ones you can get. The reason why I got it was because the toning on it was just so nice. And I like it on the other side because it's around the edge, kind of like a bullseye in my personal opinion, which I kind of like. Yeah, it's this one. So this one is MS63 1942, and you probably won't be able to see it, but there's die scratches on here. And basically what die scratches are is when a coin gets punched into a press, sometimes debris, grease can get onto it. So what will happen is they'll wipe it down, usually with a rag, and they'll do it so many times, and that creates scratches on the relief on the coin. So basically the lower areas of the coin you will see scratches, but you won't see scratches on, like, let's say the high points of like the coin, because the high points of the coin are going to be the low points, because if you look at a press, the press is going to be flat, but it's going to be indented. So the high points are going to be the low points, then the low points are going to be the high points. And sometimes that will happen. Doesn't necessarily affect the grade. Maybe sometimes here or there, but in this case, it doesn't necessarily count. So this one's a little different. This is a CCCS holder, Ms60 1941 quarter. Now we're going to be getting even farther back into more key day coins. So here's a 1940 Ms63 yet again. It's got a little bit of toning, but nothing too special going on. So let me just get that out of the way. Now we're going to be getting into more older coins. So I have some stuff from the 30s, not all of them, but eventually I'm working on that too. So here's a 1939 Ms60 Quarter. Now here's a really nice one. The 38s are usually kind of a little difficult to find. So here is an Ms62 38. And this one is probably one of my lower grades, and I will eventually upgrade it. I just got this on a whim because it was pretty cheap. I think I only paid like $10 for it or something like that, along with a few other coins from this one seller. So it's a 1937 AU55. Eventually I'll upgrade that. So now I have 3 other coins, and then this will be basically it for this video. So I have an MS60 1936 quarter. There's 3 different variations. There's the dot and the bar. I don't have either or of those, but I just really love the design of these older quarters. It's just a real nice coin. Here is another one, which is an AU50, and this one is a 1935 quarter. And this one, I'm a little bit critical about this coin because it's like I've seen extremely fine 40 coins, and usually some of the beads are worn off. And I kind of criticized this grade a little, but I got it from my coin dealer. And this is probably one of my first quarters I ended up buying, which is an extremely fine 40 1930 quarter. And it's still got tons of luster. Like, in my personal opinion, it should have got as low as 45, as high as 50, because it's just overall it's a really nice coin. It's still got tons and tons of luster for an extremely fine 40 coin. I seen somewhere there's a lot less luster than that. But that's basically going to be it. But before I go, I do have one raw coin, which this is pretty rare. I would have to say this is probably about AU50, my personal opinion. This one's a raw 1932 quarter. And it is really nice. I got this off my coin dealer quite a long time ago. So that's why I say it's AU50, because you can see with where the reliefs are that I would say that I would probably get this grade. And it's a pretty nice raw coin. So that's basically about it with my ICCS quarters. And I'm probably going to be doing some with my 50-cent pieces here shortly. And that's basically about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys down the road for my 1-year anniversary of coin roll hunting. I'll be probably doing a video on that on the 3rd if I don't work, that is. But that's basically about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy hunting. This is Ms60 Quarter's Coins, and see you down the road.